As you see, it's an astonishing film, and maybe Arshak, can you tell us how it came about? How you conceived the idea? Was it your idea, or did someone come to you with it?
Yes, idea was mine from the start, because I always think about when I saw movies about artists, the process of the work. I always was not happy how the filmmakers make it. And then suddenly my cousin David, he's a young filmmaker, but he done already many movies, documentalist. And then we met spontaneous with Vahagn Der Hagopian. He's one of the most known because of Artavazd Peleshian's cameraman already for 30 years. He makes Peleshian's movie. So when we told about this idea, Vahagn Der Hagopian was very happy, and he said he likes my studio. Actually, everything happens in my studio, and my studio is near to Matossian bridge. I don't know if you know this area, near to Tumor Center.
Above the Parajanov Museum, if some of you know it.
Yeah, looking at the river.
With a spectacular view.
That vein of the forgot the name of the river. Hrazdan, yeah. So that's why I think everything makes so unique when we start to work in my studio, because my studio was already a movie. Because when people enter their first time, it's filmatographically, it's already correct because of the light. It's the sun always inside the room, and it makes a very theatrical moment with sound. And I discovered when I was listening music and contemporary music, because my studio is very contemporary and space and minimalistic, built by very modern, I believe, approaches. We use very modernistic. And suddenly I was listening Rolf Gehlhaar in my studio with my sound system very loud. And then I found the lighting and the studio and the space and the music. I found the connection. And I was there second when this happens, this mashed of body language, of the sound and the space, because architecture is already painting. It can be sculpture. It's a big sculpture, but it's for me sculpture. And but you live inside the sculpture, but everything you see surrounding you, you become an observer. And that moment I discovered that Rolf Gehlhaar could be very right for this documental movie. And then when we start to make, was very magic, because maybe you notice even every note of the sounds, every moment, and I'm painting, it seems like music knows what I'm doing, or I know the music. But really, honestly, it's very spontaneous, because this work was recorded 1974.
He wrote it in 74.
In 74,
yes.
And was orchestra. It was
solo cellist called Siegfried Fun. Yeah. Rolf Gehlhaar was my husband. He was a composer, and when Arshak used to come and stay with us every other year, and they talked together a great deal, and Arshak listened to his music, and they were very close. And Arshak loved his work for solo cello. Shall I say something about it? At least now we're talking about it. So Rolf wrote it after he was in Cyprus in 1973 with me, and I stayed in Cyprus, and he went back to Germany, and he started writing this work for solo cello. And you were talking about the noises in the piece, right? Yes. And he would write me letters about it, which had to come to poste restante because my parents didn't quite approve. And so I had to go to the post office and get Rolf's latest description of how he was working. And he would record things like the door grinding, the noise of right? Slow it down and work on these kind of rough noises. I think they came It is mine because we were in Cyprus for the summer, which is very rustic. It was very hot and dry. Anyway, and this is how the piece evolved. And he also uses tape delay in the piece. So as the cellist is playing, it's recording what he's playing, and then it plays back. And so you hear a polyphony, really, but it's because of the same music being played back. And somehow it connects with the way you work, I think, as well.
Yes. It's
so that was what I promised to tell you about that.
Yes, it's amazing. This is the body language that works, and because I believe art has a lot of secrets and a lot of mystery, and which makes art. Because this magic, when people go to see one painting and they fall in love and they want to buy, and they buy because they see this magic happens between a conversation, between man and the painting, for example, and then this magic happens, and then you want to have this. But I think also this magic in music can be, but you can't have it because it's there. Only sound is amazing for me because you are listening it and you carrying it after, and you don't have to take it home.
You were dancing to it.
Yes, yes.
When you were painting, you were dancing to it.
Yes, you have to go to see the painting, but music you don't have to go because you can hear it everywhere. So I think this philosophy of the space and the sound and physical painting, and because I think myself, I consider conversational, dialogal painter. Like because many artists can be monologue, but I think I have a lot of dialogue in my works. It's not about how painted, but it's about the dialogue that if you want to be with this painting with the dialogue or no, but it's just a process which also myself I don't control when I paint, but it's actually this painting done in 5 hours. So we start from the 9 o'clock in the morning, and then I finished 7 o'clock around. Painting was done. And then, so 5 hours of work, and it was ready. But they asked me, all the group, how long is going to take? I said, I don't know, I can't tell. Around from 5 to 10, if it will be a lot of mistake and can be worse, and we will lose all day. But because it's all about chance, you don't know. I'm not sure if I am doing good or bad, but it's all about chance. But it works. I guess it was fine. And we finished very fast. Also, it's give a lot of support in a painting because you're not losing the pattern. I think this is one vein, and you feel that start, the end, and the lighting in a studio going around, and you can see all day sunset and sunrise in the moon film. I think this is also was important for me.
Will you tell us about how that beautiful sequence of the light coming across just painting?
That was sunrise. It was sunrise. My David, filmmaker, he said he's going to sleep, and very early morning he wants to see how sun enters the room and dances into a canvas and leaves the canvas. And he was right. It was, I think, it was interesting. I can tell a little bit maybe why I'm doing this. For example, because I think myself that I am figurative painter. I paint figures. I don't paint landscape, or I don't paint. I paint. I'm trying to paint personality, because many figurative painters are interested to paint a body, but I don't. As a figurative painter, I don't care about body. I care what they wear in this personality, the dress, how, for example, when you see two people walking in a street holding the hands, you don't know the name, but you say they are couples. So same in my paintings. They are not important who they are. It's more important how you feel when you see these people. You may say, "Oh, this I realize this kind of crazy person," but seen somewhere, or I have a feeling he's crazy, or I have a feeling but it's interesting. But it's all about what I want to transfer, this motion, this energy, the feeling, which is coming from a real life, not coming from the fantasy, but coming from our world, not from another world. But this is what I do. Also, why I am painting a lot of animals and human together, because I think it's interesting, because I think world there is a lot of humanity, in human. And it's just example. I know I love dogs, but I was in Crewe another day, and I saw these dogs are so important, and even they look me in a very different way. I never saw dogs looking at me like this. It was amazing look, and I was going on the left side, and one of the dog he told me like, go right, because I said, excuse me, are you talking to me? And this is amazing. This transformation of you remember, Nouritza, another day you said about dogs. You said the genetic of the animals changed. People changed. It's very interesting. Like we changed the genetic of the animal, the way we take care of the balance. We are living, we are out of the balance that nature creates. I think, in my opinion, I don't mind. I love animals, but that's why I said I have right to paint this and to share, because I think the world is having an interesting, way of take care of the animals. People love animals more than, I don't know what, but they love a lot. And they wait till they die, and because they live so short and they have to die, and this very interesting. And for me, this process makes also there's a humor because I always keep humor in my paintings, and I start to use this paint this dog with the medals and beautiful words, and the eyes look like a human being. And the owner is so happy holding the dog, and they are related. They are one body, one important body. And this is become little why I'm telling, because it's always in the middle of my works, the meeting with the animal, man and animal, and the importance of the animal and man are equal, which in medieval paintings you will not see this. Goya was painting paintings. And he charged for example, it's another subject, but very interesting. I was reading about his life a lot, and he charged for everything, like hands. If someone want to order painting from Goya and they want to have the hands, they pay additional. And dog has a price also, and everything has. So it's adding, like in car. You buy a car, you add options, and it was very interesting.
He ran home. Really? And you gave me this picture of when you got into the house, the floor was covered in honey.
Yes.
Because the jars of honey had split open, and he saw this honey coming towards him as he came into the house. What's that?
No, I remember. But because Nouritza is a writer, and she can see the picture very well, and that's why she described it more dramatic and more interesting that it wasn't real.
Any case, so he was, when he was very young, he started drawing straight away. Arshak's father is one of the great painters of Armenia. Arshak Sarkissian is considered a national treasure in Armenia, and is a phenomenal and wonderful painter and artist, and also a very dedicated father. So he used to send his little boy out early in the morning before going to school to do drawings. And Arshak had
in the zoo. In the zoo. He sent me zoo.
Yes, and so he was drawing, and Arshak is an amazing draftsman. As a result of that, he draws like nobody else I know. And he has been working at his draftsmanship all his life. And so, like Arshak Gorky, who was also a great draftsman, and drawing is somehow not taught very much anymore in art schools. But with certain artists, the drawings are as important as the oil paintings and some of the other work. Arshak also works with fabrics, with textiles, and he makes these life-size models with colourful costumes, which are soft sculptures. So he's very versatile and has different strings to his bow.